Hey there. Although I am involved with CADAC, the Center of ADHD Awareness Canada, the views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the participants and do not reflect those of CADAC. And now, cue the music.
This is the Impulsive Thinker Podcast, a show for high-achieving ADHD entrepreneurs. Together, we will inform and educate you about how to improve your self-awareness while developing systems, routines, and habits for conquering the entrepreneurial world. Here is your host, André Brisson.
Hey there, it's André with an Impulsive Thinker Podcast short. This episode is brought to you by CADAC, the Center of ADHD Awareness Canada. This past Monday, you just heard a conversation with a good friend of mine, Julia Waller from Strategic Coach, about the unique ability and the process of the unique ability and why it's important. For me, I don't know if you noticed, but for both of us, we got a big passion for that kind of stuff. I'm really big into identifying people's strengths. Like my Clifton strengths, it's one of my top strengths from Clifton strengths is individualization. And I'm really intrigued about people's unique qualities. And I have a gift for figuring out how different people can work together productively, but also what makes you tick. And that this type of topic is very important for Julie and I, and that's why I wanted to bring her on to talk to you about how I think the unique ability is very, very important, especially for the ADHD entrepreneur. For me, it tremendously helped me manage my ADHD a lot more because now I try to concentrate. It's not perfect. I'm getting better at it, but I try to concentrate on doing my unique ability, to work on my unique ability. And my unique ability is devouring and learning complex information and simplifying for others to solve complex problems. That's my unique ability. When I'm doing that kind of stuff, no matter what, if it's at home, work-related, podcast, working with my team, man, feels so simple. Everyone should be able to figure out. But man, if I stay in there, I'm happier. I'm not doing tasks or stuff that frustrate me. And then I got better control on emotional dysregulation, and I got more mental capacity to manage the ADHD and work within my strengths. And I think this is very important for everyone to understand and learn. Identify your strengths, how you work, how you figure stuff out. There's a lot of assessments and tools. I think I'll spend I want to bring on people from Colby, Clifton Strengths, and for the print. Those are to me the top three actionable assessments that you can ever have. And we'll talk more about that. But right now, what's the one thing that you're fantastic at? Everyone relies on you, and try to work in that. Do that task as much as you can. And notice the change in your mentality, your energy level, and people will be more tolerable of you. You're going to be more tolerable of other people because when you're doing something you really like and enjoy, you're happier, less frustration, and then your emotional dysregulation and your impulsivity simmers down. And you don't have to take any medication. You don't have hard work. Just by focusing and doing stuff that you're great at, in the end, just makes it all work. So I just want to give you an idea why it's this type of stuff, understanding. Like for my Colby, I'm an 8255. I need a lot of facts and details. That's my 8 fact finder. My 2 follow through. This is how I systematize and organize myself. I'm a 2. I'm a random person. I don't need systematized. I don't like following rigid systems. I like to have the ability to stop, start, move around, and I can jump around. I can be interrupted while someone on the opposite end are really good at doing the same thing over and over again. Now, my quick start is a 5. This is how I deal with risk and uncertainty. I'm right in the middle. I like to manage chaos to a certain degree. I like to experiment, but on the other end of the scale, people are really brainstormy, future-oriented, and really like to try new stuff. And my 5 implementer, this is how I deal with the tangible, hard stuff. I'm a 5, so I'm right in between the conceptual side and the implementer side of requiring models to solve problems. Some people need to touch a motor to solve what's not working, while someone on the conceptual side can just look at a diagram and come up with a solution. So I'm right in the middle. So I'm really good on a construction site. I understand how people handle the tangible. I can really work well with people coming up with and controlling chaos to a certain degree. And I'm able to change paths when obstacles pop up, and I thrive on that. And I need a lot of detailed information. So I'll get a lot of information before I start something, right? And now my top 5 Clifton strengths, my top one is learner. I love to learn. I need to learn. Doesn't matter what it is. As long as I'm learning, it's the process of learning I like. Individualization, just talked about. It's number 2. My 3 is achiever. I have to set goals, achieve them, set new goals, achieve them. 4 is self-assurance. I'm really confident in my ability to manage my own life. I have an inner compass that gives me confidence that when I make my decisions that they're right and I forge ahead, right? And sometimes that's misunderstood as being inflexible and stubborn. It's not completely true. Now, my 5th one is analytical. I've got a very analytical mind and I process things that way, right? So I read to you my unique ability. My unique ability is devouring and learning complex information and simplifying for others to solve complex problems. That's my unique ability. But just because I got my unique ability, what I really love about this process is you all got your best habits. So to do your unique ability, you do these habits every time. Like for me, I got one, the relentless learner. I need to learn new capabilities to stay motivated and interested. Another best habit is the impulsive thinker, hence the title of this podcast. So I'm not really good at brainstorming and coming up with ideas on my own by myself. I need someone else to talk to for me to have my impulsive thoughts to come up with new ideas and to think on the spot. That's the impulsive thinker habit, right? My other best habit is the root cause inquiry. I can get right down and meat potatoes to the actual problem, not deal with symptoms. I'm the impossible problem solver. I solve problems that other people give up on. I'm a solution simplifier. I really provide solutions that are very simple and effective to do. I'm the chaos navigator. I can go into a shit show and get everyone to calm down. Let's get everyone set up. Let's get the problem solved, set them on the path, and I'm good. Another habit is I'm an intuitive challenger. With the individualization, I like to challenge people by asking really good questions. I'm a decisive leader. Once I have all my information and facts and everything makes sense, I make a decision and we go forward. Factual reality is another one of my best habits, is dealing with the actual problem and not sugarcoating it and not afraid to diplomatically call out stuff as factual reality because we need to move things. I got no patience for politics, arrogance, selfishness, or nonsense. Let's move on. Let's deal with the factual reality and solve the problem instead of dancing around it. This one, the achieving visionary. I have to achieve goals. I see the forest, not for the trees. I'm really good at visionarying and achieving those with the help of a good team. And then when I go for it, man, stay out of my way. And my last one here I really like is the persistent resilience, which I think is a key one for me being an entrepreneur, especially ADHD and my last 40 some years on this earth. No matter how many times I got kicked, beat up, thrown to the ground, I always got back up and continued. Kicked, beat up again, on the ground, back up, right? I keep moving. I'm fearless. I'm attracted to tackling complexity. No matter how many times I get tripped, kicked, pushed, or steamrolled, I get up every time no matter what. Now, I get up, I figure out what kicked me or tripped me, and then I set up new systems and procedures to avoid that again. I keep finding new ways to get tripped or kicked down, but those are new complexities, new obstacles to come up with solutions and come around. I hope by understanding all this, I was able to determine what is best delegated and what things I'm not to do, and even deciding which projects to take from customers or what services to provide. And my life has been a lot simpler with it. My ADHD is better managed because in the end, you're not doing stuff that's frustrating and getting the emotional dysregulation out of sorts. And that's I think my Achilles heel with my ADHD is the emotional dysregulation. So I really want you to take a look and identify your strengths. What are you good at? Just start right there and try to do as much as that and then decide what can be delegated. I hope you get something out of this. I'd like to hear from you what you think your unique ability is. You can send it to me at questions@theimpulsivethinker.com. And thanks again for listening. This is an important part of the ADHD Transformation Journey program that I'm developing with Tactical Breakthroughs. You can find more information at tacticalbts.com. Thanks again for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Impulsive Thinker podcast. If you have a question, comment, or suggestion for the show, please visit theimpulsivethinker.com. The Impulsive Thinker podcast is produced by Tactical Breakthroughs and hosted by André. Remember, ADHD is only a part of you, not all of you.